All right, welcome back. So now we're going to create the bottom piece using the top piece. So we're going to create one piece. So the easiest thing to do is use the M for Move Copy tool. So I'm going to click on M here and I get the Move Copy dialog up. I'm going to choose the object I want. Make sure it says bodies here. If it says components or faces or sketch objects, just switch it over to bodies. Reselect your body. You got it good. Now before you move anything, go ahead and click Create a Copy. And then you're going to grab this up arrow. You're going to drag it and push it down. We want to get it close to the bottom, but not quite in position yet. And we're going to click OK. The reason we're going to do that is it's hard to eyeball it perfectly in place. So we're going to let Fusion perfectly place it for us. We're going to click down here and we're going to say, yeah, that looks great. We're going to say use the Align tool. We're going to click, it's always from and to. So the thing that's going to move is the from. We want to move this bottom piece, and the to is where it's going to. We want to line up this bottom face with this bottom face here. I don't want to click on any of these corners or dots. I want to be in this middle of this space right here, and I'm going to click OK. And now I'm going to click OK and go back out to home. And you can see now that we've lined it up perfectly with the bottom. So that's awesome. Again, we're going to cut the backs and the fronts are already tabbed because we copied this one. And we're going to cut the side tabs using this back one here. Okay, so now we're doing great. What we need to do now is create the front piece. And to do that, I think the way I want to do it is I'm going to model the edge of the front here and then just extrude it all the way across everything. And then we'll use these other pieces to cut the tabs into it. All right, so I'm going to create a sketch on the right side here. I'm going to turn off everything else, everything altogether actually. And I don't use, you could just click this once and turn everything off, but then I forget to turn it back on. And then when you make a new body, right when you make the body, it turns invisible. So it's like you don't extrude anything. It's very confusing. So I don't ever mess with this one. This one's always staying on. That way, if I create a new body, it will show up. And then next thing I want to do is, so that's the outline. I want to create the edge of the plywood right here, all the way down this edge, and then extrude it all the way out. So I'm just going to come here and grab a quick rectangle. I'm just going to draw it like that. I'm going to use my collinear to line up the top with that one, the right side with that one, the bottom with that one down there, and then the left side with, oh, now I can't see it. So I'm going to turn the right side back on so I can see the right side. The right side with the left side with that one. So that's the size of rectangle I want. I'm going to turn off the right side. I'm going to hit extrude. And I still have to come on. I was hoping I wouldn't have to come here and click on all of these, but that's okay. And now I'm going to turn everything back on. I'm going to rotate back to home. And I'm going to say, okay, I want to extrude this all the way across to that back side. So I need to rotate so I can see the back side. I'm going to say the distance here is to object. I'm going to click on the outside of this object, and it's going to rotate all the way through. Now it thinks I want to cut, and that's not true. I want to do new body, and then I'm going to click OK. Now I've just created the front piece. I do need, notice here that I don't have any tabs to cut here, so I need to cut some tabs into this side of the front piece so I can have little finger projections sticking out of that side. So I'll do that next. So I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to create a sketch on the front face, just like that. I'm going to hide everything else except the front piece, which is, oops, named top one right now. And I'm going to hide body. No, wait, the top one. That's the, oh, I didn't fix this. Okay, so I'm going to hide all that. I'm going to double click. This top one is, if I tip up to home view, this top one is actually the bottom. So I'm going to type in here bottom. And then this body 8 is actually the front. So I'm going to do that as well. Enter, hide the bottom, keep the front on, go back to that front view. Okay, now we need to cut tabs only in this side. And this one, I want the top and the bottom to be space, not wood poking through. I'm probably going to end up getting like maybe just 3 tabs. So in fact, I'm going to come here, create my rectangle somewhere in the middle-ish. I think I'm going to call this 1.5. Let's see how that looks. And then tab, and this should be thickness, TH, enter. Enter one more time to set it. I'm going to center this tab on the wall using my midpoint tool, just like that. And I'm going to do a rectangular pattern tool. I'm going to come in here and click on the three things I want to do, drag them, and then make sure I'm choosing. So this is what changed. So I know that I'm using this one, symmetric, and oh, except I want these to come all the way out because I'm going to cut these away. So the rectangles need to come all the way to the edge here, which, boy, that looks pretty good. So for me, 4.25 did it. And then, so this is going to be cut. This is going to be wood. I need to do two more. That's going to be too close together. Oops, not that one. 4, 5. Yeah, that's too close together. I don't like that at all. So I've got some options here. One thing I can do is click OK. No, I don't know. I should have gone from the top. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Cancel this. I'm going to Control Z until I get rid of this rectangle. Oh wait, no, Control Y. I'm going to do it over again. I'm not going to be confusing. So I'm going to grab a new rectangle. I should have started at the top the whole time. So that 0.3 at the top should be thickness because that's how thick the plywood is. And then I should have dimensioned this side first. I didn't, but I can use the D key to grab this and dimension it. And this one's going to be 1.5. Enter. And now I'm going to create a rectangular pattern using these three. This is a better approach. I'm going to come down here to the very bottom and try and get it close. Yeah, 8.5 works. Oh, this is that 10 side, so that's fine. And I'm just going to increase it once to quantity of 4. So I'm using 4 at negative 8.5, and I'm going to click OK. And now I'm just going to extrude these really fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to do a negative TH, enter, and enter to set it in. And now I'm going to go back to the home view, and I'm going to turn on the left side, and you can see now that I've got them tabs going through there, so I can cut those holes in this left side. I haven't done that yet, but I can do it in the future. All right, so now I need to turn all of these back on. The next thing we need to do is we need to cut in all the joints. So there's a lot of joints that haven't been cut yet, and we need to start doing that work before we get too terribly lost. All right, so the top piece right now, if I turn the top piece off, you can see that I haven't cut this one. This one needs to be cut with the top piece, and the top piece needs to get cut with all 4 of these. So I'm going to deal with the top first. So I'm going to turn off the bottom. I don't need that one. The back side I don't need. I need the left side, the middle, this one, and the right side. In fact, I'm going to drag right side up and above back. So now that my sides are all together here. And then top and front. Front I don't need. All right, so now I've got this view where I have only the things I'm going to cut. And I'm going to come up here and do the combine tool. And actually, I'm going to look on the combine, see if there's a shortcut. I'm going to come here to change keyboard shortcut. And mine says semicolon. If yours doesn't say semicolon, try using semicolon for it. So it's right next to the key. We're going to be using this a bunch too, so I've got a key for it now. The target body is the thing that you're going to cut. In this case, we want to cut this top piece. And then the tool bodies are what you're going to use to cut with. Well, I want to use the tabs in this one, this one, this one, and this one to cut. And they all turned blue, and notice how the tabs went away? That's because it's set to join. I'm going to switch over to cut. And now it's going to actually use those. You can see where it's cutting in the little notches now. I'm going to say keep tools. If you don't check this, after it does the cut, it deletes all the red stuff. So make sure you check that and then say OK. Now when I go to move this tool or this top piece, you can see I have all the holes cut in it now and the 2 sides are cut. So that's awesome. I need to do that exact same thing for the bottom piece. So I'm going to click on the bottom here. I'm going to show the bottom, hide the top because it's all done. And now I'm going to do the combine tool, which for me is semicolon. And I'm going to cut the bottom piece, that's the target body, and then the tools are going to be all 4 of these. And now I'm going to say, okay. And now when I move, well, I'll just turn off these and you can see I've cut all the holes and the side notches. So the bottom is all done now too. Although I did notice I haven't done the whole bottom. I need to create another bottom piece across this section down here. And we've got to cut these in 2 different cuts for the bottom. We can't do it as one piece because our laser cutter is not big enough to do one piece in both directions. So we'll do it the bottom in 2 pieces. This one and then another piece along there. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, let's finish doing the joints. Now what we're going to do is, so we've cut the top and the back. Is this right one fully cut? The right side, so when I hover over, you can see the light gray then, the part that turns light gray is that piece, so it's all good. The right piece is good. Oh, you know what we need to do is the front piece. Yeah. Notice how all this is white? That means it's all wood. It needs to get cut. So we're going to click here for Combine Tool. We're going to say, hey, let's take the, actually, let's first just do a quick move to see what we have to do. I'm going to do a move command. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to just drag it out of the way real quick. And I can see this left side already has tabs, so that one doesn't need it. I need top, bottom, and right. So I need to cut it with this one, and that one. Hit cancel to put it back in place. There it goes. And I'm going to do Combine Tool. My target body now is the front piece. And I'm going to target it with, or use tool bodies of the top, the side, and I'm going to rotate down so I can see the bottom, and the bottom piece. And you can see now it's cutting in all those tabs. I'm going to say, okay, and that's good. I need to do the same thing for the back, except, uh-oh, what did I just do? Did I just do the front? I don't know if I just messed up. Let me do a quick move real quick just to make sure. I don't think I did, but maybe. Yep, no, I'm good. Okay, so we're still good. And now the back is a little different. The back has to have these holes cut in it through here. So we're going to do a quick Combine Tool. So for me, semicolon. I'm going to target the back. That's what I want to cut. I want to cut it using the top piece, the side piece, the bottom piece, and just this one right piece. And these 2 inside pieces. So almost every piece is being used to cut the back, right? Awesome. So make sure to have them all, then I'm just going to click OK. Switch back around to the back view, and I'm just going to do a quick move command. Whoops, cancel. I did a combine. M for move. I'm going to click here, drag it out of the way, and I can see, yeah, so the side's cut, the top, the side, the top, and then the holes in the middle are cut. So that one's all done. Awesome. And now what we need to do is right now we have this piece of wood going through that piece of wood. So we can't cut tabs in them because they have to slide. So we have to cut them like a vertical slot. So this one can slide down in it like this. So 2 vertical slots. To do that, we're going to cut the slots in this face. I'm going to create a sketch. I'm going to create it on the face of the front. And I'm going to tip it a little bit here so we can see what's going on. And now I'm going to use what's called, I need to know where these 2 pieces pass through this face. So I'm going to use what's called down here the project menu. So create project, and it's going to be an intersect tool. That's going to draw a line. You see this red rectangle that's drawing? I can zoom in here. Oops, and I want selection filter to be on the body, not just the face. So this right here is the is where this piece passes through the face of the front. So that draws a rectangle there. I'm going to do the same thing for this one over here. Click on that one. And then I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to hide everything except the front face because I don't need anything else on right now. Just all get in the way. I'm going to square up to the front. And I'm going to draw a line right across the middle because I want to cut a slot in the bottom of one and the top of others so they slide on like this. So I'm going to create a line that goes right from this midpoint right there, and it's going to go over to that midpoint right there, and that's good. Now I divide it into 2 halves. I think I'm going to cut out this top half. So I'm going to use the extrude key and see if maybe I can grab it right away. Yep, that one. I'm going to go to the front again. And I want this one and that little piece as well. So now those are all ready to go. I'm going to do a negative thickness, enter. That should be cutting it, and it is. I'm going to click OK, and there's the slot. So now I need to turn on the two middle pieces because I need to cut them next. And I'm going to cut them. I'm going to cut this piece using the front piece. So you can see that slot's going to cut in a slot in the bottom here. So I'm going to use the combine tool from E semicolon. I'm going to click on, I want to cut this one. So this one's not cut. I want to cut this one, and I want to use this front piece. You can see where it's going to cut a slot in. And I'm going to say OK. And then I'm going to do it again, except I'm going to choose this one and the front piece as the tool body. And I'm going to say OK. Now when I move these, watch what happens. I'm going to click on a move to move this one, drag it straight up. And now there's a slot cut there. So now as it goes in, those two slots overlap until right there when they stop each other. So that's cancel for the move command. I'm going to turn everything back on. And I think I've forgotten one thing. I think I've forgotten to cut in the holes right there. So I'm going to hide the front to see if the holes, oh, nope, they're not there. So I'm going to put that back on. I'm going to say, hey, I want to take this. I want to combine, I want to cut this one using the front face. And I'm going to say, okay. And now when I turn the front off, I still have those holes there. So that's fantastic. And I think that is everything. Yeah, awesome. So I think at this point, let me turn the front back on. I'm going to go back to the home view. Let's stop right there. In the next video, we'll build out the bottom. Yeah, we'll build out the bottom here. Well, no, yeah, we'll build the bottom here and then the front face as well. All right, good job. Hang in there. You're doing great.